Hey everybody out there, this is Seto, and today for you guys I'm going to be profiling for you my Noble Knight deck. Now Noble Knights are a deck that are slowly becoming one of my more favorite decks to actually play around with, and slowly becoming one of my favorite decks overall of all time. Mainly for the fact that I've always loved historical based archetypes. So things like Gravekeepers, Six Samurais, Chronomalies, I've always liked archetypes like that, and I've always loved warrior archetypes to boot a lot. And Noble Knights encompass all those great things. Plus the fact that I've always enjoyed, no matter if you don't like Platinum Rare, you like Platinum Rare or you don't like Platinum Rare, I've always enjoyed the Noble Knights artwork. No matter if the card effects are not the greatest, I've always enjoyed each and every one of their artworks because they just look so beautiful. It looks like a painting. It looks amazing. And I'm so happy I picked up Noble Knights. Originally I didn't want to play with the deck because I was thinking to myself, well, you know, the deck's for the price tag the deck was, and my drop being a $30 card, I said, you know what, I'll just wait for, you know, it to get a reprint with something like that. And then I saw that it got the reprint in the, the Noble Knight box set. So I decided to pick the Noble Knight box set up because I saw what Merlin did, I saw what last chapter the Noble Knights did, and even though some people may argue that Noble Knights past their prime, I really enjoy playing the deck, and I really like the archetype overall. So first off, we run our 3 Noble Knights Madrat. I still believe Noble Knight Madrat. Some people I've seen just run 2 Madrat, but I still believe it's his 3 of. It's a staple, and he works very well in the deck. Next, we run 3 Noble Knight Merlin. Thank gosh for Merlin. The cool thing about this is my build encompasses both the Exceed version and the Synchro version, but it doesn't go full on Synchro if that's what you're looking for. It's mainly geared towards the Exceed version with the ability to go into Lancelin. So 3 Merlins, really nice. It gives the deck another, I guess you could say, Rhoda-esque card, which is something that the deck has always needed. So you have your 3 Rhoda, and then you have your Merlin, which can search out your Madrat, so you can get your plays going and things like that. And then next up we run our 3 Noble Knight Boars. Some people believe you don't need 3 Boars. I've seen people cut it down to 2. It's player preference, you know, depending upon what you want to run in the deck, really. But I still find that 3 Noble Knight Boars works pretty dang well, and I really like it as a 3 of still. Next we run 2 Noble Knight Guinevere, not Guinevere, I can never pronounce this one Noble Knight's name. Guinevere. Excuse me, I apologize. Guinevere. I still run 2 of him. He's a 19 normal beat stick if you just normal summon him, but he also helps you go into things like Altergus, the king of the Noble Knights, and help you go into all those level 4 Exceed plays, really in general. So I do like him as a 2 of in the deck. You know, he's just a normal beat stick, or he becomes like an accelerator. You special summon him if you have another Noble Knight, go into Exceed plays, things like that. So I do like him as a 2 of. Then we have for your 1 ofs, we have 1 Noble Knight Bedouar. Some people run him as a 2 of. I prefer him just as a 1 of. He helps set up the graveyard so you can go off last chapter of the Noble Knights. Then I run 1 Noble Knight Drisden. Depending upon the matchup you're going against, I find that sometimes you can actually put in your side deck a second Drisden, and it can be really helpful. But I do like Drisden as a 1 of in the main deck. And your last Noble Knight I run is Noble Knight Brothers. This is a very expensive card now apparently because it did not go into the box set, but Noble Knight Brothers, some people like running it as a 2 of because I like going with the like a fuel, I guess you could say a full-on Exceed version of the deck. Some people like it as a 1 of, but it's searchable, you know, because you can use its effects. But I just prefer it as a 1 of personally. So those are your 1 of Noble Knights. For your Noble Arms, we run 2 Guinevere. Guinevere is really good in the deck. Some people like running her as a 1 of now, but I still like her as a 2 of, so that's just me. And then next I run 2 Effect Veiler. Now I didn't want to run Lady of the Lake because I just found her, you know, if you put Lady of the Lake in the deck, it just makes the deck do a little bit too much, and it can cause clunky hands. And the same thing with Honest, I guess you could say. You know, if you put Honest in the deck, it just makes the deck do too many things, and that can lead to the downfall of Noble Knights, I could say. But Effect Veiler, you can put in there, and it can work as a two-pronged card. So you can use it like if your opponent's trying to make a Castel or a 101 or trying to do something to get around your Noble Knight cards. You can just go Effect Veiler. So you can use it from the hand as a hand trap, but you also can normal summon it and go into the rank 5 Synchro monster of the Noble Knights. Also, you can just use it to go into rank 5 Synchros, which gives a little bit more, I guess you could say, variation for the deck. But it gives you the ability to go into the level 5 Synchro if you want to, which the Synchro is actually pretty dang good on its own, but it just gives you that option. You don't have to do it, but it's there if you want to do it. So you can go Soul Charge, make it, equip it, and then wait a turn and then go off with Lancelin. So that's just why I put it in there as a 2-of. You can use it, as you wish. You don't have to run it like that, but I just find that Effect Veiler works a little bit better than Lady of the Lake. Just personal preference, because you can use it. You can use it as a hand trap, or you can just use it as a tuner. It just depends on what you want to do. So next we run 3 Rhoda. Thank gosh Rhoda's at 3. This really, really helps the deck's consistency, and I like it so much. Thank gosh Rhoda's at 3. Then I run 2 Last Chapter of the Noble Knights. Some people run it as a 3-of, some people run Last Chapter as a 1-of. It's Bujin Carnation for the most part, but I do like it as a 2-of. And it really can help the deck mid to late game, I find. Next, we run 2 MST, because MST is a pretty good card to help you get around things like Skill Drain, or Vanity's Emptiness, or whatever is out there nowadays in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Then we run, for your Noble Arms cards again, we run our 2 Noble Arms Excalibur. Some people like running 3, some people like running 2. It's player preference, I find, but I do like just running 2 Noble Arms Excalibur, and go Excalibur. But also the other good Noble Knight card I find is Noble Arms of Destiny as a 2-of. Those are the only 2 Noble Knights besides Guinevere that I run as 2-ofs, I guess you could say. So that's just me. Next, I run, for your 1-of Noble Arms cards, we run 1 Gallatin, 1 Caliburn, and 1 Archfidutor. I hope I said that right. Caliburn's really nice because you get that 1,000 attack bonus, I believe, off the top of my head. But some people like running it as a 2-of, some people like running it as a 1-of. I just find you need 1. Same with Caliburn. Plus, I will admit that 5,000 life point gain can really come in handy sometimes, I will say that. And 1 Archfidutor to round it off. And then for your 1-of spells, we run Snatch and Steal, which is a pretty good staple. Soul Charge for those plays, and Regeki to just nuke your opponent's field and just slam into them with all your Noble Knights and use their swords and just bash them away. Then lastly, for your traps, I run 2 Fiendish Chain. Some people prefer Breakthrough Skill. I find Fiendish Chain's nice because if you Effect Veiler and Fiendish Chain make it work pretty well, because if your most common things you're going to run into problems with Noble Knights are either A, Vanity's Emptiness or Skill Drain, or B, they're going to snatch, try to, that is, take away your King Knight or your Exceed monsters. So you have Fiendish Chain and you have Effect Veiler to stop the simple problem solvers that every deck, level 4 ranked deck has, which are 101 and Castel, and Fiendish Chain help with that, as well as Effect Veiler. And then for your 1-of traps, we run 1 Bottomless Trap Hole, 1 Compulsory Evacuation Device, and 1 Solemn Warning. Bottomless, just a good trap card. Compulse things back that are problematic, and Solemn Warning, just stop it from hitting the field altogether. Now onto the extra deck. So for the extra deck, you're kind of tight for space, but your main cards that you run are your 2 rank 4 King Knights and your 2 Sacred Knights. So you run 2 of each. Some people like running 3, 3 King Knights. Excuse me, let me move that down. 3 King Knights and 2 Sacred Knights. I mean, it's player preference really, but I just find that you just need 2 of each, and that's all you really need. Next, I run the 1 Lancelin, like I said before. You can go into it, you have the option to go into it, you don't always have to go to, but when the opportunity arises, you can go into it, so you can. Then I also run for rank 5 in case you want to. You can run Armades, Keeper of the Boundaries. It's just there as an option. Then for your rank 4 Exceeds, we run 1 Blade Armor Ninja, 1 Heroic Champion Excalibur. Yes, I just like running Excalibur, and then you, in this deck, it's just kind of fun to play around with. And another Heroic Champion Gandiva. Blade Armor Ninja, these are all warrior-based level 4 exceeds. Blade Armor Ninja can help you make a big push if your opponent's got an open field. Heroic Champion Excalibur just works well with this deck. Heroic Champion Gandiva is just actually a pretty underrated card, I believe, personally, so it can come in handy sometimes. Then we run the 1 Lavava Chain, the 1 Castel Musketeer, the 1 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon, which comes in handy. And we also won 103 Ragnar Zero. 103 Ragnar Zero is kind of okay to run with against Clifford's XYZ Rebellion Dragon. Just push on through that big monster, cast Stealth, spin things back to the deck. Lavava Chain for setting up plays. Then I run 1 Heartland Drago and 1 Evil Swarm Extinction Knight. Heartland Drago can come in handy because if you already have a Noble Knight on board with a equip, then you can summon Heartland Drago and just run over it. You can jump over your opponent's monster and kill them, which is kind of nice, and they can't target it because you have a face-up spell card on the field. So it can come in handy. And Extinction Knight, when all else fails, just blow up the board. So that is the Noble Knight deck, guys. I hope you guys all enjoyed that deck profile of the deck. I've really always enjoyed the deck. No matter what you think about Noble Knights, or no matter what you say about Noble Knights, I'm going to still enjoy playing this deck because it has slowly, like I said before, started to become one of my most favorite decks of all time. No matter what you say about it, because I really love the artwork. I love the playing style. It's an equip-based deck. You play with the swords to equip them to make your Noble Knights stronger. I just like that aspect. It's just a fun little mechanic, and I like it. The way Konami made this deck, no matter what you say about it. The artwork's amazing. The deck is kind of fun to play with. It's actually a pretty solid, pretty good build, even though it did take a long time for them to come out, to get the deck fully completed. I feel it did take a long time, but they eventually did it. They eventually came around to doing it. I know some people may not like that I'm playing with the Platinum Rares, but I don't care. It was the most simplest way for me to get all the cards in a short period of time and play with. And honestly, I will say, even though some people say they probably hate the Platinum Rares, after playing with the deck for a good while and looking at the cards, I would say this to you, they have kind of grown on me slowly. I've actually said, they're not that bad. So, that's just my opinion. But till next time, guys, take care. Have fun dueling. Good luck dueling. I hope you guys all enjoyed this Noble Knight deck profile. And go Noble Knights. And just, it's so fun playing with this deck because it reminds me of the Knights of the Round Table. So, take care, everybody. Seto Kaiba. I'm out of here, guys.